Hello, everybody. My name is Bram Ruiter from the Netherlands, and I would like to briefly sketch the impact of the thinking and writing of John Maine on my life. To do so, I have to sketch the path that led me to him. I've been through a long period of burnout, a burnout that was essentially existential in nature. Questions such as where do I find meaning and what is truly worth living for became increasingly pressing. I was raised in a church-going family, and from my teenage years onward, I had a rich prayer life. This was deeply comforting to me, but it also created a sense of distance. My secular friends could not recognize or relate to what I was experiencing. My religious life existed largely outside their world. After finishing secondary school, I pursued a technical education. At university, I was surrounded by outspokenly atheistic professors, and over time, I adopted their view of the human person, that we are ultimately nothing more than our brain, and that my religious experiences were therefore entirely self-generated. This was not a conclusion that brought me any joy, but I felt intellectually that I could not simply turn away from it. It left me confused, disillusioned, and exhausted. Looking back, I now see that I had never really encountered what one might call embodied theology. People in whom thinking, feeling, and living were held together in an integrated way. And then there was John Maine, or rather, there was Sikko Klaus, a former teacher of mine who wrote a doctoral dissertation on John Maine. During my teenage years, I have been wary of liberal people who could say that Jesus did not literally raise from the dead. And later on, I have become wary of Orthodox people who did not seem to be aware of the intellectual challenges of this time. But the WCCM meditation group, led by Sikko and inspired by John Maine, showed me a way that moved beyond the usual divide between Orthodox and liberal. Since joining that group, I have been reading John Maine's text on a daily basis. And at first I did so cautiously, almost distrustfully, because it all seemed too good to be true. I was afraid I would come across something that felt too narrowly religious, or on the other hand, too secularly liberal. Yet so far, John Maine has managed for me to hold that balance in a remarkable way. His words have opened up a life-giving path. In his wake, a community has emerged to which I feel deeply connected. Through, among other things, spending several months living in Bonneval, I have, to my own joy, truly become part of that community.